Yo, what's up guys, the Insane Game Freak here, and today I want to talk about some more gaming related stuff. And I was going to just make a review and thoughts on the Direct, but at this point I feel like it's a little late. There's a lot of stuff to cover, and I've seen videos that do it way better than I do. I think Game Explained to me, and honestly did what they, in terms of analysis, I'll let them handle that, and that's what I'll watch, and I'll recommend you guys will watch them too. But there was a video I recorded, I think a week ago, that I was about to get ready to actually edit and upload, and then I realized about the bullshit that came out this week about The Last of Us. And the video originally was titled "When Backwards Compatibility Fails You." I'm not sure if I'll still title it that, but it's something along the same lines because I wanted to redo it and kind of address it in a different way. So, The Last of Us, I think the rumor's been floating around, but it's been officially announced. The Last of Us will have a PS4 edition, and the PS4 edition is essentially like all PS4 editions of PS3 games are, almost completely unnecessary. And I find it hilarious that that people try to justify this and then also buy into it. Here's my issue here. When you make remakes of games or even HD collections like the Kingdom Hearts collection or the Final Fantasy collection or even the Wind Waker HD remake, those games have been out for like years. I mean for Kingdom Hearts, I think that's been out since like the early 2000s, and Wind Waker came out in like what, 2003? Final Fantasy I think also came out almost 10 years ago, somewhere around there. I may be a little bit off, please correct me. But those games made sense because those were missed by like entire generations. Like that makes sense to me because there's a reason and a justification to update those on top of just a graphical change, which would actually be a big jump. But on top of the graphical change, but we also got more features, extra content. It didn't feel like, and we were also getting more games. Like with Wind Waker, they actually just restructured certain parts of the game, or maybe you were getting more games for your dollar, like for Kingdom Hearts, where you got, what was it, 1 Chain of Memories and all the cutscenes for 358 days over 2. And like I think the the Kingdom Hearts 2.5 is what, 2 Birth by Sleep and Recoded, I think. I might be wrong, correct me. But the point I'm trying to make is you got a lot for the money you were putting in, and you weren't even putting in nearly as much. And then they released these definitive editions, which what I call is a fucking cash grab. And the reason why I called the original video "When Backwards Compatibility Fails You" is because all these games, if the PS4 was backwards compatible, wouldn't fucking exist. Nor would they need to exist. And they're a cash grab. Now I have heard one response about how it's because a lot of people switch from Xbox to PlayStation, which would justify it. But considering The Last of Us is like one of the only Sony exclusive games this is referring to, whereas every other definitive edition of a game was just a fucking multiplat, even if you exclude Last of Us, the point still stands that if you already played these games, and what kills me is that people like to talk so much shit about next gen this, next gen that, and then you talk shit about how the Wii U, it's like, oh, you're still playing the same Mario games, you're still playing the same Donkey Kong games, and you're still playing the same Zelda games. The last time I checked, in terms of notable releases, the releases that people like to brag about on the Sony platform, and granted, I plan to get a PlayStation 4 in the future, so I'm not really saying the console shit, I'm just talking about the selection of games at the moment. You have 3 notable titles, and only one of them is a new IP. And that would be Killzone, that would be Infamous, and that would be Knack. And out of the 3, the Knack is the least popular of those 3. I wonder why. And then a lot of all the other shit you have are either fucking definitive editions of games or multiplats. Or definitive edition multiplats. This shit's fucking ridiculous to me how you can talk down on another console when your console is suffering from the same problems. The only difference is your console just has hype behind it. Because I think even people who own PS4s at this point can admit, you have no fucking new games to play. The newest game you have is Infamous, and you don't know when the fuck anything else of value is coming out. like a specific release date. I think the next thing you guys have is fucking Watch Dogs, which is a multiplayer. And guess the fuck what? Guess what the Nintendo fan base is getting? A fucking new Mario Kart that people have been jizzing over, what, the last 2 weeks? And I'm not even here to do the whole Nintendo Sony thing. What I'm trying to make is, how the fuck is this okay? Why is this okay? Why is this definitive edition bullshit okay? And what makes it dumb is that it's not even justified. HD collections are fine. HD remakes are cool. But there is no need for a definitive version of a game that isn't even a year old. Most of these games aren't even years old. When Injustice Definitive Edition or Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, fuck, even Rayman Legends Definitive Edition, none of these games are even a year old. None of them. That's horrible. What the and see, and the only one I would kind of somewhat justify is maybe Injustice, because we've run into this trend with fighting games now that we can't just release one version and release DLC patches and shit. No, we gotta release characters in these small ass bundles. And so by the time you finish paying for the game, you end up spending over $100. And then, like assholes, they fucking release a new version of the game, like a 1.5 update that would have already given you all those fucking characters. Which is kind of why I think the fighting game genre in itself is kind of a load of bullshit. That's another video. The point I'm trying to make is Injustice was the only game that justified that, and even then, that's just kind of fighting game bullshit as fighting game bullshit nowadays. Definitive Edition shouldn't exist. If you just had put backwards compatibility in the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, this wouldn't be an issue. But of course, they don't have to do this because as gamers, you're proving them right by going out and buying these fucking definitive versions of a game. If you want to be a graphics whore, that's whatever. Why does Rayman Legends have a definitive edition? No. That you can't make a cartoony game look more like how much better is Rayman Legends gonna look versus the PS3 version? Not even talking about the Wii version, what about the PS3 version? Not that fucking different. It's a cartoony art style. You can't take that and you can't make that hyper realistic. The whole graphics war argument only works on hyper realistic games. Because on cartoony games, once you get to a certain point, you can make any fucking cartoony game look beautiful. Tomb Raider, what was the difference? Oh, you changed the character's face, and I think you got the DLC maps from fucking multiplayer, which nobody fucking plays. Oh, what in the fuck? I'm not specifically sure what Last of Us changes. Probably the same goddamn thing, updated graphics and you get the DLC. This shit has to stop. It's like these are the little things that just irk me about the whole new generation of gaming bullshit talk. It's like you get hyped for these consoles and all the new games and mechanics, and yet they're pulling the same shit that the other generation did. Or shit that's not any better. It's like, hey, guess what now? You have to pay for online. Hey, guess what now? Instead of just giving me a backwards compatible console that may have cost me $50 more, no, you're going to spend the first year of gaming on your new console playing the same games you played the year before and smile on your face because you think the graphics and DLC that you've already paid for, you now get on the damn disc. It's like, oh, we're in the next generation. Are you? Because to my knowledge, at least for Sony anyway, you have about 3 titles that are like new. I think for Xbox One, it's not that big of a difference. I think it's like 4 or 5. Everything else is a fucking multiplayer, the definitive edition. And I'm just sitting there going, how is this okay? I like how the issues with these games aren't even apparent because people fucking buy them. Or it's that same logic of, oh, it's fine because the graphics justify it. No. If I'm going to spend $400 for a fucking console, I'm not going to buy the same game I bought on the PS3. But there is one advantage, people, to this, and it's only for you PS3 and Xbox 360 owners. The original game is now dirt-ass cheap. Meaning you can buy the original game and be perfectly fine as long as you don't give a shit about multiplayer, which half of these games you shouldn't because half of them don't really matter. Tomb Raiders didn't matter. Injustice, I don't think you shouldn't be able to play with PS3 and Xbox 360 players. From what I understand, you should be able to, so that doesn't really make that big of a difference. There is no reason to buy into the bullshit. And I really wish people wouldn't, because it hurts you and it hurts us as gamers, because it tells these companies, we're cool with definitive editions of games that are a year old. We don't need this shit, alright? A remake and HD collections, those are fine. I have no problem with those. I own a lot of HD remakes and collections. I don't want to fucking own, though, the same game twice with barely any differences within that just released like a year apart from each other. Because, and I swear to God, if they do a GTA 5 and you motherfuckers buy this shit, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. Because that's so lazy. Because remember, and think about it this way, as much as people were talking about how we had droughts for the Wii U last year, here's a question. Take out all the motherfucking, take out all the definitive editions of games we've gotten, take out all the multiplats, and leave just like the exclusives. How fucking, and not even, well, in terms of multiplats, there aren't that many have come out, so I guess, you can keep the multiplats. The point is, these are dry-ass consoles in their own right. Like, no one's really gaming hardcore right now. Even Nintendo owners. The last thing we got was fucking Donkey Kong. We'll have Mario Kart 8 while you niggas will just be sitting there with Watch Dogs. But, you know, the point I'm trying to make is still, why would you buy into this definitive shit? Yeah, I understand your games are dry, but don't go out there and waste the same amount of money. And what kills me is that I think they're only dropping the price. Like, what is it, like $10, $20? $40 is too much for a game that's only a year old, which is funny because Tomb Raider on the PS3 now is like $20. It's painful. It's considering how high quality that game was, and the original version of it's dirt ass cheap because the definitive edition is out. I mean, the definitive edition is out, and all the definitive edition does is put better textures, better little effects, a change of face, literally, and and some DLC packs that you may not give a fuck about if you don't play DLC. And you have to spend $40 for that. You're not spending $40 for the experience, especially because their games, a lot of these games are like story driven, except for like maybe Rayman Legends and Injustice to an extent. So having the experience for Last of Us, when a lot of people kept praising that was the story. That's like half the fucking experience gone. The shit should be $30 just based on the fact that everyone's played the fucking game. Ugh. I'm done. You can't regain the same experience you just experienced less than a year ago. But it's cool, because we'll pay for it, because we're dumbasses. This is the part about the gaming industry I fucking hate, is that they make this shit kind of shit okay. And then and all this can be solved, which is backwards compatibility. A feature that is so goddamn simple that the original PS3 did it until they started losing money, and the fucking Wii U does. So I can still buy Xenoblade and Metroid Prime Trilogy and not have to waste another $40, and I didn't have to buy a $300 console to do that. I mean, I could have played these games on my Wii, but I don't have to spend like $60. I can get some of these games dirt ass cheap, like the original, like just old ass Nintendo games, and play them on my fucking Wii, because my Wii U has a Wii mode. And you gotta wait for PlayStation Now, for something called PlayStation Now. It hasn't gotten here yet. Just saying. Anyways, that's just my thoughts, my whole little rant on this shit, because that aggravated me. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. This has been the Insane Game Freak. That's a game, play to win, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace off. Yo guys, thanks for watching this video. If you liked the video and you want to see more of me, click the box here and you'll be able to be taken to another video of mine. I'm not telling you which one, because that ruins the surprise. Also, if you want to check out my Facebook and Twitter, links are in the description. If you want to support me with your monies, Patreon down there too. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.